Okay, I've taken out the bullet dropper. This is a 9mm dropper, and I'll show you the various parts, how it operates, how to take it apart, and change its configuration if you ever need to do that or clean it for some reason. The dropper itself has a upper or switch section, a middle tube section here which just provides length for the column of bullets, and then here's the business end of the bullet dropper itself that actually dispenses the bullets down onto the cases. This is held together by a little set screw. It's very easy to take off and disassemble. The weight on here is intended to give some mass to the top of the dropper to maintain it in its full down position. When the dropper is in its full down position, there are balls, steel balls that are inside this bore. I don't know if, can you see that if I put a white background behind it? All right, there are balls in there that obstruct the bore of the dropper, and they prevent the bullets from falling out. When the case pushes into this tapered cone area in the bottom of the dropper, it lifts the array of balls up slightly to a widened out spot inside this threaded die, and the balls are allowed to move out away from the bore of the dropper, and then the bullets can fall down and the bottom bullet is tamped into the case. How you take this apart, it's a simple clip that's very similar to ones that you'll find on dies on your Dillon presses. Just take the clip out. Now, these balls will fall out, and if you're not careful, you can lose them. You'll find there are a few extras shipped with your unit, but it's a good idea to maybe have a bowl and a paper towel or something underneath where you're going to disassemble the dropper. You can usually catch them in your hand, but all you have to do is go around on your hand and knees for a while trying to find lost balls, and you'll appreciate using this bowl. The center movable tube will slide out, and you can see here are the balls appearing. There are two levels of holes for these balls, and these balls are measured specifically for calibers. If you had one for a .223, for example, it's 6mm. This is a smaller one for the 9mm bullets. Once the balls are out of there, all you have is this tube with the two levels of holes for the ball arrays, and also there are two grooves for the clip. If you use the upper layer of balls, you put the clip in the upper position. Use the lower level for the balls, you use the lower level for your clip. It's really brutally simple. On the inside of the die body, perhaps you can see this as well, there are those hollowed out areas. That's where the balls are allowed to expand outward in order to have the mechanism function properly. Now when you want to reassemble this, well, let me digress for a moment. For most bullets like the ones we've been using in the demonstration, these 124 grain bullets, I'd say go ahead and use the upper array of holes. The lower ones are basically used for people who are going to be loading very short bullets like 90 and 95 grain bullets if they're loading for 380. When you have a long enough bullet, you can use the upper holes, and what that'll do is give you slightly more distance for the whole column of bullets to fall, and the further they fall, the more force you'll have as the bullet is tamped down into the case. You'll get better performance that way. Now, there are a couple ways you can reassemble this dropper. You can try to do it by hand. Drop a ball into that hole and cover it up with one of your fingers. Kind of roll it over there. I'm holding it with my finger here. These are spaced at 120-degree intervals, so these other two holes in the upper array will just hold the balls. You don't have to worry about them falling out. Okay, all three balls are in place, and then you just slide the threaded body down to where they begin to cover the balls, and let it push your finger, and it'll capture those balls easily. Another alternative that you can use, you can take a small Allen wrench or a little magnetized screwdriver. If you got some magnets, just tap it and slightly magnetize that Allen wrench or what have you, and you can pick up the balls very easily. You can have the internal portion of the tube already installed here. Drop one in there and then just put your finger over it. Kind of roll it onto your finger like this. Pick up another one. Drop it in there. Final ball. And then again, just slide it up. The balls are retained. Now take your clip. We put the balls in the upper level, so we'll put the clip on the upper level of the dropper. That's all there is to it. It's a very simple mechanism and it's very rugged. Okay, I'm going to reassemble the dropper now and put a few bullets in there and show you just how little force is needed and how little travel is needed for this to operate. When you're filling it up with bullets, especially manually, make sure you're holding it down all the way or the bullets will just fall all the way through. As long as I'm filling this, I'll talk about the switch for a moment too. The switch arm will go in and out of the bore of the dropper. When the bullet level rises to the location of the switch is operated and the contacts become open and no current will flow and the collator will stop. Then as you are loading the bullets and the level drops down, the switch is allowed to go back into the bore and it closes the contacts and allows current to flow and operate the collator. You'll also notice that the center terminal is bent over. It should be bent over anyway. You only use the outer two terminals. All right, just to give you an idea of how little force is needed to operate this, let's see, I'll take a case here, see if this has been flared. Here's a flared case. Notice it's only going to drop down about 3 millimeters or so, and you'll see the column of bullets drop. There, that's all it took. Lift it off, there's your bullet. The remaining bullets are pulled upward and retained in the tube because those bearings went back in, those balls, and caught underneath the bottom of that stack of bullets. Very simple operation. Okay, one other interesting feature with the design as it is that there are no springs in here and no plastic pieces, so it'll be a little bit more robust than the original design. Also, the way this dropper operates, if you ever need to clear the bullets out of there, you wanted to just empty it out, lift the dropper manually about 4 millimeters and all the bullets will just fall out into your hand or a cup or whatever you have underneath it.